fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 139 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is chocolate chip cookies. They're a piece of cake. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and please pass them on to anyone you think they would help. My hood is bothering me. With that being said, here's our list of things to do today. So we have our daily compliments for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to talk about SAD, and I separated them basically because I want to talk about seasonal affective disorder, or I think it's disorder. But we could also just take that as what it is. We can substitute in different things, whatever you feel like talking about. And then we're going to make a chocolate chip cookie cake. Huh? First I made a pumpkin pie cake. Now this. I've gone stark raving mad. And I also want to talk to you about a book that Magnus and I have been reading. I posted it on one of my stories during the Christmas holiday. But I don't think I've talked about it yet, and I know I'm not supposed to until it's a cookbook and first look, which hopefully will be episode 140 coming here sometime soon. But I just want to show you the cover and like lay the groundwork. I don't want to give you my full review yet, you know? But it is the first look of it in the next episode, so I don't want to give too much away either. Okay, we're going to go over the daily compliments for the last 2 weeks. Hope everybody's doing okay. And we're going to start with, looks like January 10th. Your confidence is inspiring. Wow. The 11th, you have a gift for making others feel valued. The 12th, your positive attitude is refreshing. The 13th, you're incredibly thoughtful. The 14th, you are the best cook. The 15th, your passion is motivating. The 16th, you have a talent for bringing out the best in people. The 17th, your resilience is admirable. The 18th, you're a natural leader. The 19th, you have an incredible work ethic. The 20th, you have a knack for making people feel comfortable. The 21st, you're so cool. Oh, skipping to today's, your ideas are brilliant, colorful, and exciting. So, making a cookie cake. I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to share the recipe link online, but I'm going to give you the ingredients. It's 1 cup butter softened, 3/4 a cup sugar, regular granulated, and 3/4 a cup brown sugar packed, 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 2.5 cups flour, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups semi-sweet chocolate chips. Couple substitutions or add-ins is I browned my butter, so we're throwing in some extra toasty flavor. And then, what was my other? I'm adding chopped. We'll see how that goes. And I also got a beautiful new baking set from my sister for Christmas. We just celebrated Christmas with them. And so it's the ceramic, which is really, really sweet. So for this recipe, it called for me to spray and then also put a piece of parchment at the bottom. I'm hoping that I did spray. I'm not going to jinx myself that way. But I'm hoping with the new bakeware, 1, I get to clean out a bunch of my old crap. And 2, it will come out. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to go any further. Okay, so that's the recipe. I'm going to kind of talk through the steps and do the steps simultaneously. So for this part of it, we're going to cream together my browned butter. Check it out. Doesn't that look good? Amazing. Well, don't know what happened. Had the computer have a little hissy fit again. Don't know where you got cut off, but I was proceeding to put the butter into the bowl with the 2 sugars. Oh, we're also preheated at 350. I'm actually preheated at 360 because my oven is, I don't know, crazy. But I was saying, whoa, we made this. It's very crunchy. All right, let me talk for a second, and then I'm going to pause you just so I'm not driving you crazy. We made this brown butter. I don't know if this made the first cut. We made this brown butter the other day and then put it in the fridge, and I just took it out a little bit ago because I don't want it to be remelted. I want it to be solid so my cake has more stability. So I'm going to whip-de-do this for a few minutes. I just wanted to touch base with you guys real quick that I went to the next step and I added 2 eggs, but I have now decided, because of my brown butter, that I'm going to add an additional egg just to give me that extra stability, use that binder to really, kind of fluff it up and make it yummy. And I've always added an extra egg in my cake mixes, like the box mixes. So I'm hoping that the results I get from that work out for this. So fingers crossed. Otherwise, we might have just a puddle of, what is it? Fingers crossed. This is where I'm at right now. This is with the added egg, and I am loving the texture. I'm kind of playing it like I'm making the blondies that I made. So I think the texture is so much better. I did add the vanilla while I was gone. And I am going to just proceed to the flour portion, which is, yeah. So what I did was I separated, not separated, in a separate bowl, I put the 2.5 cups of flour, the 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and the 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And there might be a swidge of baking powder in there because I accidentally put baking powder, but I hadn't whisked it yet, so I tried to grab most of it off the top. We'll see what happens. And I whisked that in a separate bowl. So now that is going to get mixed in with the mixer. And then I'm going to hand mix in the nuts and the chalky chips. And I poured out the 2 cups, but I'm not a super huge chocolate chip fan. I love the chocolate chip cookie flavor without the chips. I believe I mentioned that many, many moons ago. But so I'm going to play it by ear as to whether I actually add the full 2 cups in, because 1 3/4 is going into the actual batter, and then the other 1/4 is going on top. And I want to see, because I use the minis, they distribute a lot more evenly as well. So I feel like it overwhelms it a little bit. So I'm going to add the flour, and then I'm going to come back to you, and we're going to mix the rest of it by hand. I'll be back. All right, guys, this is where we're at. I know it's not the greatest picture in the world, but it is good texture. Tastes amazing. Oh my God, that brown butter just puts it over the top. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to hand mix in the chocolate chips and the pecans, and then I'm going to put the whole bowl in the fridge for just, I don't know, 10 minutes while I talk to y'all about Dad. And it'll give it, just a little bit of a chill to kind of solidify the butter again. But what I'm going to do first is pour in some of these pecans. I think I want to keep the chunks a little bit bigger, but I'm just kind of crushing them with my hand inside the bag. I don't know, that has worked for me in the past. I also thought about toasting these at one point. I mean, just briefly before I came back, and I was just like, all right, it's already pretty buttery. I think if I put any more butter, like on the pecans or whatever, to toast them, I could have dry toasted them. But I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And I'm not going to really measure. I'm just going to kind of eyeball how much I'm going to put in there. Couple handfuls. Like I said, I'm winging this part. I don't want it to overpower it. Yeah, I'm going to say that might have been good. Maybe just I don't know, tablespoon more. Ish. Yeah. Okay. Those are going to get folded in. Okay. Or stirred in, however you want to look at it. It's a really nice dough. And now I'm torn because, like, if this works out with the added egg, like if I ever did it where I didn't like brown the butter first, but why would you? I don't know. There's all kind of disappeared now. Do I want them disappeared? That's the question. All right. Let's work in this chocolate chips for a minute and we'll go from there. Is that a lot? It seems like a lot. Like, look at this. Tell me that's not a lot of chocolate chips. But I realize, you know, everybody's different. But it does take up like every aspect of the dough. So like, that enough? I don't know. It looks pretty good, guys. Here, I'm going to show you. Doesn't that look amazing? Look at that center right there. It has so much I could spread it out. But being the crazy kook that I am, I'll do, I don't know, hair more. And then I'm going to do a hair more. Like a pinch. Okay. And then I would say I've used half the amount of chocolate chips it calls for in the recipe. And I'm fine with that because, one, you know, it's just added sugar. And two, I want to taste the dough. And sometimes when you have that much chocolate in there, it's just too much. So this is what she looks like before she goes in. I think she looks beautiful. Beautiful. She's so beautiful. Okay. The sad thing is I didn't plan on putting it in the fridge, so like, yeah. Okay. And I spilled some, avocado crema earlier. Just having one of those days, guys, you know? All right, well, this is staying out for now. I'm gonna start stinking beef and cabbage. Okay, guys. Talk to me. I think she's starting to fall. Stinker. Doing so good. About not just winter time, but I just feel like okay. Just gonna be a poop. Okay, first of all, we just got done having like some of the coldest weather we've had so far this year, you know, sub-zero with the wind chill, things like that. Wind was crazy last night before. I don't know. I haven't been as claustrophobic as I have been in the past. It helps that my daughter is here, you know. We encourage each other to get up and get out, do things. So I think that has helped. But I would say that it feels like that. Like all I feel like I do is go, breathe. Sometimes it just pays to really fill up your lungs with so much air that you feel your rib cage just overextend and you get this added little feeling of like fullness in a sense. But I've been trying to figure out ways to combat, yes, combat these dreaded winter cold doldrums. Other than going outside and freezing my mucus off, that would be productive. Like I feel like baking is productive. I feel like, getting out and walking around is productive. Things of that nature. But I also feel like, talking, being social, getting outside is important too, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel good. Dark. It just doesn't feel good to be that cold at this stage of the game. And while I would like to say I'm a strong ass bitch, when it comes to the cold, I run like a chicken, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being me against the weather, and I'm gonna let the weather win probably 9 times out of 10. Warmth, when it's super hot, doesn't feel that much better. So I would say that finding productive things that get me outside but then get me inside are probably like the best laid plans for someone that is trying to improve their overall mood. And being social is one of them. I have not always liked social media because I feel like, yes, you're in a sense touching base with people, but there's nothing better than being in person, one on one with someone. The next best thing would probably be like a Zoom or a video chat or something of that nature, FaceTime, whatever you want to call it, where you can actually physically see the person. That cheers me up a bit. But there's no better medicine on the planet than to get hugs from people you truly care about. And that seems to help the most. Feeling that snug kind of, that feeling of getting everything compressed. I think there's something to be said about that. Like, where's the thunder shirts for people? I know they have compression wear, I guess that could count. But I kind of want to have it like wrapped like super snug so you can make it like tighter or looser depending on what kind of day you're having. But there's nothing better than hugs. Hugs and coffee and good conversation is always productive. But I want to think about actual projects and things of that nature that can essentially get me outside, but then in turn get me inside. But that I do something, not necessarily spend money, because you can go to a mall anytime you want, but like then you're tempted to buy stuff. And who's to say we got that kind of, time and money lying around? So sometimes it's better to just stay home and feel comfy in your own house. But I don't know. There's something out there. I realize everybody's gonna say sun lamps and heat lamps and that kind of thing, and talk to your therapist and move somewhere warm. But many of those things aren't necessarily, either on my list or able to do right now. So I like playing games. Puzzles are nice. Watching movies are nice, but I don't know. They often make me more sad than I already am, so counterproductive. Uh, Comedy movies, yes, I like them, but I feel like, a lot of times they're too hokey, but sometimes you need that, right? So funny movies might not be a bad thing. Although I would have to say I'd probably have to pick, funny movie I already know the ending to. A lot of times when I watch movies, I get, scared and what have you. And then, You're not in any better spot. Let's see how this is. I don't want to make it impossible to get out of the bowl either. Let's see. Did it even cool down? It got cooler. I don't know. I just don't know. Let's see where we're at time-wise. Oh, 15 minutes. Okay. You know, this will be a good time to go over that book I wanted to talk to y'all about. So let me put this back in for another couple minutes. And I'm going to run and get that book real quick. It's not far, so. All right, now it won't come off my finger. You didn't see that. You didn't see that at all. Oh. I would brown butter for just about anything. I'll be right back. Just about anything. It just gives that nuttiness, a little bit of saltiness, you know, some good flavor. Okay, this is the book we're reading, and I'll put it up here in big, bold print, hopefully. Positively Fifth Street. And here, I'll put it down here. I don't know if that's any better. Whoopsie. Such a glare. And it's by an author. His name is Jim McManus. And he's from the Chicago area. So this is a true story. And it's about the World Series of Poker and the murder of Ted Binion, who was of the World Series of Poker family, who started the World Series of Poker. So the book is pretty long. We've been on this one for a while, but I'm kind of glad because we have to get caught up on so many of the other ones. Excuse me. And this one, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to give you too much about, but the author does participate in the World Series of Poker. So part of that, part of this whole story is him just, you know, playing in the tournament. So a lot of, you know, just rules of poker that could probably been left out, and it would have probably been about 100 pages less. But I digress. Like I said, I don't want to give too much away. I want it to be, and maybe you like poker, maybe you want to know more about how to play and that kind of thing. But I would say it's a little daunting of a task to read because I'm not even done yet. We're close. I think I'm on the last chapter, but when it's a lot of names of people I cannot pronounce, or verbiage and other languages that I cannot pronounce, so a lot of times it gets blah, blah, blahed through, and the dog doesn't seem, so it doesn't hurt my story, my understanding of the story. But it is interesting the mindset you have to be in for poker. Like, it is an all-in, you have to know what you're doing, plus you pretty much have to figure out what everybody else is doing. And, you know, kind of what they're looking for to, you know, come up on the flop and the river and the 4th Street and 5th Street and all the terminology that I could probably go my whole life without knowing, because mentally it seems like a very challenging game, but psychologically it's sometimes just dumb luck. And the way you play your cards is like based on, you know, how much money you have and what you want others to think you're thinking. And, you know, they wear glasses and hats, and I'm like, why don't the cards reflect in the glasses? And then everybody knows what you're doing, right? That's what I was thinking. It didn't make any sense to me, but what do I know, apparently? All right, we're going to do this, guys. I'm a little scared. Oh, and then we're going to top it with a little bit of the chocolate chips. Come on. Come on. And it's a 9-inch pan, cake pan, that we're pouring it into. Suppose you could use a smaller one. This doesn't seem like a ton of dough. But you do want to have enough room for it to, you know, rise, but also spread out. And maybe that's why my cakes and things have been sinking lately. But I also think my oven's off. Oh, I did want to mention one other thing about, you know, the fact that I did add another egg. There was other ways I could go with that simply because, you know, we're in an egg shortage and, you know, substituting Greek yogurt, applesauce, sour cream. Gosh, I had so many. Flaxseed with a little bit of water. I did that once for another. That has probably been the most productive way to do it, only because the flaxseed is nice. It adds a little bit of nuttiness, and you don't get any off flavors like with the applesauce and the. Now, sour cream wouldn't be bad. I haven't really tried that one yet, to be honest. I just threw that one out there because, like, if Greek yogurt works, why doesn't sour cream, right? Ricotta, you probably could use ricotta. That would be a nice little tang of flavor. Or mascarpone, cream cheese. You know, you're just looking for something to give it a little bit more stability, basically. These pans are super duper nice. I already tested them on a batch of my blondies that went home with my oldest baby, who came home for, you know, the shortest of time. It just flew by. So that's why I didn't film last. All right. Let's get it all worked out here. I want it nice and somewhat even. Wow, that made that pan so pan. That pan. Oh, look it. No extra charge, guys. Can you guess what's in here? Eggshell. No extra charge. A little extra fiber. Okay. Perfect. All right, let me give you a little shot of that. So here she is on the big cam. Here she is on the small cam. Okay. And then I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle. Because like I said, I think it already has a decent amount in it. And I realize these are going to be like more melty on the top, so that'll be kind of nice. But I still don't think we have to overdo it any. Gotta watch I don't drop chocolate. All right, here we go. Let's get a couple more. But like this was literally a handful. This is why I like the minis so much. You don't bite into like a big blob of chocolate. And maybe I'll like that. I don't know, because there is like that chocolate chunk cookies. But I like mine more evenly distributed. Yeah, okay. Evenly distributed because I don't like that feel texture wise. All right, there she is. Small screen, big screen. Gonna back it up. All right. Good luck. All right, now she's gonna go in for 25 to 30 minutes. And again, my oven is set at 360 because I feel like there's something wrong with my oven. All right, we're gonna go the 25 minutes to start. We'll go from there. I am gonna put you on hold. I pretty much talked to you about everything already. We're just waiting for this yummy cake to come out. Oh my god. Yummy cake to come out so we can all. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Don't pay attention. I know. We're not supposed to do that. But, oh my god, it's so good. I don't know that I would honestly ever try this recipe without the browned butter. And maybe that, I don't know, is that being brown butter snobbish? I don't know. But I would say that there's nothing that compares to the that flavor. nuttiness, umaminess. Oh, you know what I did read a recipe for? Adding soy sauce to your chocolate chip cookies. Isn't that mind blowing? I don't know if I'd like it, but anyway. All right, we got 25 minutes before this guy's done. I'm going to let you go get a drink, maybe have a potty break, and we'll be back in a wee bit. I saw him back. I think I've decided to keep it a surprise. I'm also afraid to kind of take it out of the oven right now. I'm doing the whole letting it cool down in the oven first, so that kind of keeps it, which has worked in the past and also hasn't worked in the past. So I will keep you posted. But yeah, I think she's unpuffing. So I'll keep you posted. I think I've said all about being sad or having sad that I can possibly think of. And if you guys have great ideas, please put them in the comments below this episode. That would be so wonderful. Anything to help with these winter doldrums would be greatly appreciated. And I think, I kind of want to mention the challenge. That was a wrap going there. Challenges I have going on right now. I haven't talked about them in a little bit, but we're going to think outside the box. We're going to set new goals daily, and we're going to take baby steps, literally. I hope those all make sense, and I hope we remember to not think of as a misstep or a backstep as a failure. It's always a lesson. Always a lesson. There's something to be learned from every decision you make. So remember that going forward. No pressure. All right, I guess that about wraps it up. I don't have much else to say except, and we're under 30 minutes. That's not what I was going to say. Anyway, what I was going to say is I hope you have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best blessed life. Thanks for watching.